and today we're going to talk about journals. We're also going to talk about back to basics. I had a few people ask me some questions about my back to basics setup in regards to my traveler's notebook. Why I decided to do what I did, how I have it set up, if it's working, if it's not working, what I'm doing, and whether I'm journaling and planning in it. And I'm going to be completely honest. Back in February, I was sick. I got the stomach flu. It lasted for about 8 weeks. Mr. Rockstar had it longer, and come to find out it's not just a stomach flu for him, it's also something else. So he has an appointment with a stomach specialist, hopefully the end of this month. They have scheduled one for the 22nd of next month, but our family doctor is trying to get him in to see the specialist before then. About 5 or 6 weeks into the stomach flu, I got the regular flu. I caught it from Mr. Victor, my grandson. So not only did I have the stomach flu, but I was running a fever. I was sneezing. I was coughing. I was miserable. I felt utterly exhausted. I felt like just getting up and getting out of the bed and getting dressed, taking a shower, brushing my teeth, much less doing anything like cleaning the house or journaling or anything. Just they felt like impossible tasks. I'd write to-do lists, and maybe out of a list of 8 things to do, I might get 2 done. There were days when I didn't get maybe but 1 thing done, and that was maybe washing the dishes. To make a long story short, because I tend to ramble, being sick with the flu, 2 different kinds, for such an extended period of time drained me, mentally and physically. I didn't want to journal. And when I don't want to journal, there's a big problem, because I journal every day. Journaling helps me with my anxiety and my depression. Planning helps me with my ADHD. The journal overlap that a lot of people have problems with, for me, doesn't normally bother me because the overlap helps me with my ADHD. But being miserable and being exhausted mentally and physically, it really took a toll on me, and I didn't want to journal at all. And the fact that I had to journal in multiple places just didn't appeal to me at all. I was doing good to get what I did get done. I was doing good to get my outline done for Camp NaNoWriMo. Towards the middle of March, I was just so frustrated with not wanting to journal. There were 2 weeks I didn't journal at all in March. And even more than that in the Hobonichi that I was journaling in. And I think part of February I didn't journal. I knew I needed to make some changes. So I talked about it in a coffee chat. I talked about it in another video. I talked about it on Facebook because there were other people that were feeling very similar. And I stated in one of the coffee chats or one of the journal kind of videos that I really wished it was like July. That I wished when I was in March, I was wishing it was June because I wanted July to be the next month so that I could do one book July. And a few people suggested, well, why don't we just do one book July outside of July? And I thought that would probably work if I just decided to do one book. But I need I needed to do some simplifying in my life in a few other areas. It wasn't just about the journal or just about the planning. It was a lot of things. Being sick made me realize that I needed to get rid of a few things in the house. I needed to declutter. I needed to organize. I needed to do some spring cleaning. And of course, March is the month where you start getting spring fever. You know, you want to clean and stuff like that. I also wanted to do some gardening. I really want to plant a garden. I want to plant some herbs and I want to plant a garden. I needed to declutter and organize every single closet in the house. I wanted to make a desk and a system that works in here that was simple. That it would simplify how I film and how I journal and how I write and how I use the computer, and it would be much more, it would simplify it. It would be more efficient. I could work smarter, not harder. And there were so many areas in my life where I used to work smarter, not harder, but I had made even more complicated for myself, and then being sick made me realize that I really wasn't working so much in that way. It wasn't, whatever it was I was doing, I had changed things up. Maybe I had gotten excited about some things. Maybe I had turned a page somewhere, and it just, whatever it wasn't working. And I couldn't put my finger on any one thing except that a lot of things weren't working. Not that I was unhappy. Well, I was unhappy being sick, but depression makes you question everything. Depression leaves you with doubt, self-doubt. It really, depression was the big factor. I was unhappy with my journaling. I was unhappy with the journals. I was unhappy with a lot of things. I was unhappy with how my desk was set up, and I got this brand new computer, and it's sitting on a table that doesn't, it's sitting beside my desk, and they're not even, the table sits up higher than my desk. This little desk, the antique desk that I absolutely love, which is great for writing, for like just writing, but it's not, you can't film on it. It's really too little. I need more space. I needed a bigger space to film on, and had been so tired of using my dining room table. So being sick just magnified some of the things that weren't working for me. Being exhausted mentally and physically, and being drained, and just the depression and the anxiety, the overwhelm and the stress, it caused a lot of issues to surface, and some of it was just self-doubt. Some of it was caused by the anxiety and the depression, and not journaling meant no planning, and that really wasn't helping me with ADHD. I wasn't really focused on very much except being sick and being miserable being sick and not journaling. My focus was on a lot of the negative, and I had done so much work being more positive. That was my word for last year, was positivity. And I had done so much work that letting that negativity and the overwhelm and the stress and the anxiety and the depression overtake me in February and March, by the middle of March, I'd had enough. I'd had enough, and I knew I had to change things. So during those wonderful conversations, the idea for Back to Basics April came up, because our overall theme for quite a few of us was that we needed to get back to basics. And my wonderful friend Talisha was like, well, that's what we'll call it, Back to Basics. And I don't remember the exact conversation, but we decided to do it in April because we didn't want to start in the middle of March, and we wanted to give people enough of a heads up to say, hey, if you want to do it with us, you're more than welcome to. You can make a capsule wardrobe, simplify your wardrobe. You can simplify some of your cleaning stuff. You can, whatever works for you. If there's something in your life that you feel like you need to get back to basics with, hey, let's do it. So I'm doing it in a lot of different areas, not just the journal. So now that I've rambled, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to flip this around the camera, and I'm going to do a flip through of this. When I first filmed the flip through, which I believe was yesterday or day before, because I was setting things up, this is Monday's page, because I don't think I showed. And what happened when I did the crock pot is it bled through, unfortunately, and it's ruined my pretty page that my husband loved so much, but that's okay. And then this is today's page starting, because people have asked, well, what do you do when you, so I do some things, and then I will go through while I'm doing something else, like if I'm sitting on the couch watching TV tonight with Mr. Rockstar, I'll do some more of the journaling. I will usually finish it up by that evening, sometimes the next morning. I am doing planning in this, but I don't like the daily to-dos written on my journal page. I never have. I've done it, but I really don't like it. I really don't. And I don't want to have a completely separate journal just for planning. But to be honest, over the past few days, after the first, okay, back up. After the first few days of April, I realized that I actually really used this. I just wasn't using it very much at the end of February and the beginning of March because of being sick and being overwhelmed and stressed out. So I decided, I set up. This is this week. And as you can tell, I've been using it. I haven't listed everything, but I do have my word count down at the bottom. I have listed some things in here. And this is for me, for like the house, for what I consider to be my work. So anything that involves Patreon or anything that involves YouTube, my website, sometimes even things with the Facebook groups, anything that involves our bills or whatever, which is why I don't really show this much. I don't have any bills written on here yet. I've been working on things. So I am back though to doing. Now, I did do this at the very beginning of April. I did. Text journaling and watercolor. And I didn't really do much. But I did get back to work in it. And this is yesterday and today's. So I've already done that. So I am doing a lot of the planning in that. And I get everything, what I'll be doing from now on is getting everything set up in the Hobonichi, because I can do every single thing in there. And then when it comes to this, because I will continue to do just a weekly spread so that I can put some art on here. And I think I will be continuing to do it this way. Minus this, I'll just be careful about what I do on the pages that are opposite of here, because this Tomahawk River paper, unfortunately, even when you use the Zig clean color real brush pen marker things, they sometimes tend to bleed through, because this is only 52 GSM, whereas in the Enigma it didn't really bleed through, and I had forgotten. I've been used to using the Enigma, which is a thicker GSM Tomahawk River paper. So now that I remember, hopefully I won't be making this mistake again. But I will continue to do this and the tracking and stuff like that. More of collection things and my actual journaling will be in here. But I do planning in here, and I'm going to be taking the planning from the Hobonichi, because this will basically just include some stuff, like not my bills and stuff like that, because I do show this on social media. I don't show the whole Hobonichi usually on social media, and if I do, it's before I put any of the personal information that doesn't really need to be on social media. So let's get started. I'll show you how I have this set up and what I'm doing with it, and I hope you enjoy. And I'm sorry it's a rambly long video. Some people really like the chatty videos, so I'm going to label this as a chatty video. Like I said, people were asking questions, and I hope that this helps. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below. In case you're wondering, this is a dark unicorn jellyfish. It is a trifold. It is actually a standard size, but I have my A5 inserts and notebook in it. These are two of the charms. So I have this insert, and there we go. It says choose the road less traveled. I liked it, and it was on clearance for $3, and I used this for my morning pages. Now this is a Taroko design notebook. It's orchid paper, and it's just an insert. It's A5 in size. It's really good paper, and what I've started doing on it is doing things for Patreon in here. I've got to create another lettering thing, another PDF for them, so I'll be working on that while this is saving and uploading. And this is the A5 Crossfield by Nanami Papers. It's a 7Cs Crossfield. And this is sort of my inspiration board. I put a bunch of things that made me feel good, that inspired me, and put them on here so that when I open up the journal, I feel inspired. And this is my key, and I have a Dorothy. I have the ruby red slippers. They were sent to me in Happy Mail, and so was the washi tape. They came from two different people, actually. But this is Follow Your Own Yellow Brick Road, and I have different things for the legend, my index, and I started doing some journaling. This was in the beginning of March, and I was really getting back into the journaling. And we replaced our floor, Happy Mail, my computer stuff I ordered. I still tried to journal some, but it ended up being more like one page. This is kind of where I stopped. I did some journaling, and I never colored it in, and I'm bother, and I wrote down some things for St. Patrick's Day. And then here is April's calendar, and there's a big gap. I didn't really journal. I did some of the journal prompts, but I didn't really journal. So I have some things on here, and I need to get to here because I've actually done some of this. My tracker, which I've kind of slapped off. I've got it on a sticky note. I need to put it in here. And I really liked this. And then these are some of the things I'm working on, and I need to fill some of this in and check off some of these. I'm going to write some more goals because some of this I'm getting done in April, and some of this will probably continue in May. I will continue probably to do back to basics for the whole summer. So here is March 27th through April the 2nd, and I am journaling. And I'm journaling. I have some sticky notes in here sometimes with my to-dos because I don't really like my to-dos on my actual journal page. But I have gotten to where I really like putting them on the weekly layout and filling things in. I'm getting away from these. Some journaling, some goals for the weeks, some more journaling, some more journaling. I saw the trailer for the new It movie that comes out in September. That was a really good trailer. It was scarier than the old one. Some more journaling. A selfie picture because that was a journal prompt. Some things I want to work on. I need to finish that part. Some more journaling. More journaling. I started this and then I was like, you know, I really don't like the way that looked. So I ended up doing this. And people thought my wisteria were grapes. But it's wisteria. I have wisteria in my yard planted. The tarot pull, I watch our Tarot by Arwen on Sunday evenings, and I usually write down what she says for each astrological sign. Some more journaling. Some more journaling. April the 4th was a hard day for me. My father died 42 years ago on that date, and I wanted to journal. I wanted to do a few things, so I just put some color on the page and did a few things. And I was going to try to do some things, and it just, I don't know, it just, I was having a really hard time. So I did journal, but, so some more journaling. And some more journaling. I'm doing more tip-ins. Some more journaling. And I'm doing more tip-ins. Some more journaling. We went to my parents on Saturday. We came back Saturday evening. I wrote. We watched the USS Indianapolis on Netflix. That was really good. It's the Shaw from Jaws, and Jaws mentions it when they're on the boat out, and it's based on a true story. And I watched the movie about what happened to the USS Indianapolis, and that was really good, really good. And I drew this because my brother was working on his truck, and Mr. Rockstar was showing him I have something wrong with my car, and so I thought that was, I just did that, and I thought it was really cute. But I've been adding little bits and pieces because I was out of town and it took so long and I still needed to write. So I did a little bit of clip art, a little bit of things, a little bit of stickers, but I also drew something and added some color, some Snoopy washi tape, some more journaling. And this was a self-care day, so I have the little lady shaving her legs. I thought that was adorable. Let's see if I can get up close. There you go. And this is this week's setup. Right now we're here. So I'm working on some things, and I like this, but what I did for yesterday kind of bled through the page, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful. I wasn't thinking about it. I used the Zig clean color markers, real brush, and yeah, but that's okay. So this is Monday's page, and I put this, it was a meme, I shared it on Facebook, and then I put it in my journal as a quote, and haven't decided whether I want to put any color there or not. And then this is today's page. I haven't finished that part of the watercolor. So this is where I'm at. So as you can tell, what I'm doing is doing my actual journaling. And I do keep up with some things. And if you need to, you know, if you're the kind of person who wants your to-dos, you could put your to-dos. You could put a little box. Maybe beside, you could do one part of the page and do like a split it up, and on one side you could do your to-dos, and on the other side maybe you could do a quote or your meal plan or whatever. But I really prefer to kind of keep my stuff here, so it works better for me that way. and I really do prefer to keep it here. So instead of coloring in boxes, I just started doing the dots and then making a line when I'm working on it and crossing it out. When I'm done, I've done this. I haven't crossed it out yet. So you can tell what I've done. I'm working on that now, so I'm not going to write all of it out because I'm actually doing it now. So all I have to do in the morning, because I'm trying to stay ahead, is upload my Writer Wednesday video and do the blog post. I'm going to need to do some of these things right here, and I'm going to be cleaning out my desk while this is actually uploading, along with a few other things, but I find that it really helps for you to kind of have something to look back. So I need to, this evening, when I'm making my plans for tomorrow and stuff, I need to go through my month and through some of these goals, and I need to write some more things down, and come over here, color in the boxes I've done, work on this a little, work on this a little, fill this in with my sticky note that I have for this, fill this in with some of the stuff because we're right here, and I know I have some things to do, and fill this in because I have some things right here. And I'm finding that I like this and I like this, but I don't really need this so much. So I may not even fill that in. I may just do this and keep up with this. So maybe there's a page I can do my master list of things and then do the task tracker, like back to back, so that I can kind of keep up with things better. Or, you know, something like that. Because what this is about is reviewing things that work for you. And this is the only drawback to the Tomoho River paper and to using the Tombow markers or the Zig Real Clean Color. The Zig Clean Color Real Brush. Is that they do, watercolor doesn't do it as much, but any kind of water brush marker thing does. But I love the crinkliness. I love the paper. The one thing about the Enigma is this is 52 GSM paper, and the Enigma is 68 GSM, so you don't have as much bleed through and stuff in the Enigma as you do in the Crossfield. I absolutely love Tomoho River paper, so yeah, my next notebook will most likely be an Enigma. So I hope y'all have a good day, and I will see you again soon. If you have any other questions, please feel free to put them down in the box below. Let me mark over here so I know where I need to go next, because I need to finish today's page and I need to work on some of this. So that is it, y'all. I hope y'all will have a good one, and I can take this bookmark. This is the great thing about the little magnet things. Put this here because I have some things I need to work on here too. And my morning pages journal. And I just write in that. So that's it, y'all. Like I said, I hope you have a great one. I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.